Hey guys, welcome back to another review on the channel. Today I'll be reviewing Mystery Mask Mix-Up, which is the second episode of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? So yeah, let's get straight into the review.
Must be returned to the temple. Now go, and do not return until you have the mask in your possession.
We hear and obey.
So the episode opens up as we see this mysterious figure talking to these two spooky looking characters, and he tells them to go find a special mask and do not return until it is in your possession. And then it cuts to the gang, and they're at this Chinese festival in China, and yeah, after like a bit of clowning around, they eventually decide to go check out some shops, and inside one of the shops, Daphne decides to buy a kooky-looking gold mask, and then the two that we saw at the start, the two scary-looking zombies, called the Scare Pair, show up a little bit after Daphne bought the gold mask and asked for the golden mask, but of course it's not there anymore, and he tells them that Daphne bought it, and they will go and track her down. Then we see the gang. They're just walking through one of the streets in China, and then the two spooky looking zombie characters, I'll just call them the Scare Pair, decide to show up, and they ask for the golden mask. Scooby acts all brave and defends the gang and Daphne, and then he goes into the laundry shop and brings out like a laundry machine, and just makes soap go everywhere and they can't see, allowing them to get away. And then it cuts to this art shop run by Mr. Fong, and he tells the gang that the golden mask is cursed, and the owner, Zentul, will basically track it down, and then Daphne asks you with the two mysterious characters, and the Mr. Fong says that they are his zombie minions, and he also tells them as long as you have the mask, you're in grave danger. And then they go into the mystery machine, and Daphne's talking to Velma about it, and then Shaggy points out that the Scare Pair are after them again, and they're inside another car as well, chasing after them. And then this is where the chase song is very early for a chase song, but yeah, it's called I Can Make You Happy. But yeah, not a lot happened. A lot happens in this chase song compared to last episode, where Fred and the gang are just driving away from all over the place, all over China, really, away from the Scare Pair. It gets pretty dangerous when they're like jumping off rooftops and going inside hotels. Scooby falls out of the mystery machine and onto a bike, and at first he smashed into the Scare Pair's car, and then he got a bike and pedaled back to the rest of the gang, and at the end of it they crash into like a bunch of fish.
Just around the bend. You know there's a lot that I can show you, and if you wanna go there, I can get you in. if you love me too.
Well, they say.
When the gang come out of all the fish, they realise that Daphne's gone. She's been kidnapped by the scare pair, and she's been tied up, gagged at the back of the car, and the scare pair now have the golden mask. Scooby's sniffing around all the fish, and he finds a little ticket, a laundry ticket. You can't really read what it says, but it's in this kooky Chinese language. But Scooby spots a reflection in Velma's glasses saying the temple in the hills, and he holds it up to the Mystery Machine's mirror and points out what it says. And Velma says she knows where the temple of the hills is, and it's haunted. So they go up to the temple of the hills to search for Daphne. Now, when going inside, it's like very, very spooky. There's like this big Buddhist statue in the middle of the room with a fire lit. Daphne and Velma Fred and Velma go one way, Shaggy and Scooby go the other way, as we see the scare pair and Centaur now with the golden mask on, looking down at the gang. Velma and Fred get tricked and walk behind this Buddhist statue where Daphne is, but eventually leading them to being trapped with her. Now Shaggy and Scooby are scared because they come across this curtain. They don't know what's behind it, so they decide to look behind there, and it's just a little table. Shaggy trips over and gets a flower pot stuck on his head, and he wants a towel to clean himself. Scooby uses Zentul, who's standing behind Shaggy, as his towel, and they get very scared and they run away. And now, after a few little hijinks with the Zentul ghost, after they basically barricaded the wall, but the wall popped up, and trying to threaten Zentul, they eventually escape him, but only leading them to run into the scare pair, and Zentul basically, they got away from Zentul, but they didn't get away from the scare pair, and then again Shaggy and Scooby have to go running everywhere, but they corner them on a carpet, and Shaggy and Scooby crash into this statue, and then they then this is a very, very, very odd scene, and definitely one of the most funniest scenes in Scooby-Doo, where Shaggy and Scooby dress up as restaurant owners to distract the scare pair, tricking them and eventually getting away. Then we come back to Daphne, Fred and Velma, and they're still stuck behind that statue, and they're getting concerned now, and the only way they're going to be able to get out is if Shaggy and Scooby somehow rescue them. But then Shaggy and Scooby crash into this gong near them, and then Zentul captures them, so that's kind of over. He locks them in a storeroom, and puts them on top of this, a whole bunch of dynamite, and he sets the fuse and runs away. They eventually put the fuse out, but they go jumping up and down. They jump onto the statue, freeing the rest of the gang. When they jumped onto the statue, it must have released Daphne, Fred and Velma from behind the statue. Then Daphne says that she found a clue when coming in here, and it's a whole bunch of pigeons locked up, and they all have notes on them. And Velma then reads out one of the notes, and then Fred realizes what's going on, and he decides to set a trap. A pretty complicated one, if you ask me. But basically, all Shaggy and Scooby have to do is lure Zentul to this specific area. But before you know it, Zentul's already on that specific area. Scooby has to build like a whole bunch of train tracks to eventually trap him. But it didn't really work so well, as Zental crashed into the pot that he was hiding in, and Scooby landed on top of him. Then they go into this next room where the scare pair are at, and they crash into them, and they crash outside, and they're all trapped in this big carpet. Then they're all captured inside the big carpet. Now, when the officer shows up, it's revealed, well, Zental is revealed to be Mr. Fong, and the scare pair were just his helpers. Mr. Fong wanted the golden mask because every month they'd get pigeons with the notes to fly over, and then that's when like the gold mask would get delivered to Mr. Fong. And when you open when you press a special button on it, the mask opens up. Well, the mouth part of the mask opens up, and a little note attached inside it and then Mr. Fong and his helpers are carried away.
We suspected Mr. Fong was the leader of an international smuggling ring, but could never get any evidence to prove it.
Well, this mask will give you all the evidence you need, Inspector Lou. Each month, one of these masks was sent to Mr. Fong from out of the country. Inside, there's a roll of recording tape with the names and dates of all their shipments.
And they play the tapes, write down the information on tiny slips of paper, and send it to the rest of their gang by carrier pigeon.
But how did you kids get the mask?
By accident. It was delivered to a curio shop by mistake, where I bought it. And this ghost getup was used to scare away anyone who got curious about this old temple.
You know, all this excitement has made me hungry.
But yeah, and then after a while, Shaggy and Scooby fight over a last Scooby snack, and yeah, that's the end of that episode. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. I give it a 9 out of 10. It was fairly good. It wasn't amazing, but it was still pretty good, I thought. The scare pair were definitely one of my favourite villains from the show, but I didn't really like Zental that much. He was pretty boring, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it was just a little bit disappointing that Zental wasn't as good as what most people would probably expect him to be. But yeah, look, that's just my opinion. I thought the mystery as well wasn't amazing. It was fairly good though, but it wasn't anything special. But yes, it was still a pretty good episode. I feel like I'm being pretty harsh on it. But yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Stay tuned for my next review next week, where I'll be reviewing some more episodes. So yeah, stay tuned for then, and I'll see you guys then.
Welcome to Shags and Scooby's Haunted Chinese Restaurant. The place where the ghosts eat the most. You two look alike you could stand a little fattening up. A bibs for the boo boys. Mustn't get dirty, you know. You're the specialty of the house. Chocolate chop suey and spare ribber a la mode. If you want anything else, just go.